Feudal Japan from 1185 AD to 1603, the time of foundation and the building that was turned into the country that we all know today as Japan. If you're like me, and probably a whole lot of other people, especially right now, watching the show on FX or Hulu with Hiroki Sanada, and I want to mention, talking about him, wonderful actor, love him, honestly, one of my favorites to always watch in anything samurai or just in general. I love seeing him in everything that he's in, and including my husband. My husband thinks that he is honestly one of his favorite actors, and he has done such a wonderful job, and not just him but the rest of the cast and crew, for creating the miniseries right now for Shogun. And you know what, I love learning history. Reason for HMM, History Mystery Monday if you're new. And I was like, you know what, watching this, I don't think a lot of people understand what a shogun is, even though watching it, you know, they kind of like just at it, they kind of say it, but they don't really say it, and some people might be confused about exactly what a shogun is, or at least in history wise, which the show is very good about doing historically accurate things to that time period. But maybe you want to know a little bit more and what their duties were, and just know what the meaning is, and didn't know what it was until this miniseries happened. Well, that is why we're making these two-part videos. I wanted to make it into one video, but I realized it is going to turn into two based off of the length of my script and the information I have to give you guys. So we're going to make it into two parts. This is number one, and if you are new, like I mentioned earlier, my name is Carson. This is HMM History Mystery Monday. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope this will be informative to you about what a shogun is, who shoguns were in general, and who were the actual people that were shoguns. And if you like my makeup, I have not done my makeup in a very long time. The last time I really actually did my makeup was for my wedding in October, and I haven't really done makeup since then. So it took me a minute to realize how I did it, but even last video, I just didn't feel like doing it. I just feel like messing with it. I haven't done my makeup in that long time in the span. You know, it was in October, we're in May now. So yeah, I just didn't feel like fooling with it. There'll be times where I don't have makeup and where I will. I know I started off doing it, but you know, it'll alternate more likely. But if you guys want to see if you are into makeup, if you're not, that's fine. I have the video of what I did for this look specifically on my other channel if you're interested at all. And yeah, so if you want to watch any more of my videos, I have a whole playlist of historical people, mysterious things, just HMM in general. If you want to, you know, binge it, got a playlist for that. The channel link will be down in the description. You can come check out more of my videos if you like. And now that is all out of the way, I did want to mention something though. The reason why I did do my makeup today specifically was because I was inspired by geishas and the way that they had the red spots on their eyes as their beautiful makeup, and just the way that they did it with the red lip, the red shadow. I always thought it was so pretty, and I wanted to do it more modernized, not exactly a geisha, but inspired by a geisha, because we are talking about feudal Japan. So I wanted to, you know, take a little bit inspiration, and that's why I thought, you know what, these videos will be perfect time to actually do my makeup. So if you're wondering what's the inspiration and why I did red and stuff, that's why. But now we're done talking about makeup, talking about all that stuff, all the good stuff. Now we can get into the video and talk about shoguns. Let's get into it. So, to understand the meaning of shogun, you're gonna have to bear with me, alright? So, we're talking about feudal Japan, like I said. If you aren't familiar with feudal Japan, which some of you might, some of you might not. Feudal Japan, like I mentioned, was the time period from 1185 to 1603. But really, in Japanese history, it is split up into 3 time periods. The Kamakura period was from 1192 AD to 1333. The Muromachi period was from 1336 to 1573. And the Azuchi Momoyama period from 1574 to the 1600s. The Kamakura time was the basis of feudalism, where it was firmly established and thriving at this time period. This period in Japanese history marks the governance by Kamakura Shogunate. Shogunate is a military government established during this time after the Genpei War of 1180 to 1185 between the Tairei and the Minamoto clans, in which they were constantly conflicting each other and trying to rule Japan. The Tairei clan tried to control a coup against the Minamoto clan, and Minamoto no Yoritamo, he was the leader of their army and ended up winning the war, along with establishing the Kamakura Shogunate. He also put himself as the first ever Japanese shogun to serve the Emperor Go-Shirakawa. The term shogun means exactly commander-in-chief, and the term is also known as tokufu, which means tent government or government from the curtain. Where originally meant was the shogun's dwelling and household, but then in time it became the system of government dominated by a feudal military dictatorship exercising in the name of shogun, or done by himself, the shogun himself, if not the emperor. Shogunate term is referred to as though the state, meaning the emperor, still held the law or de jure of all of the land in Japan. So that basically means that even though you have, the Emperor of Japan himself, he's ruling, he owns all land in Japan, no matter what coast you're on, no matter what tip, side, direction you're in. If you are on the land of Japan, the Emperor owns it. But the shogun, or the shogunate, were the side rulers. So whatever the emperor claimed that he wanted to do, the shogunate or the samurais or whoever, the military operatives, would be the ones to follow lead and do the orders in which they thought, based off what the emperor thought, they would do exactly that or put their own little spin to it. And speaking of samurais were awarded for their allegiance to the emperor, but they were never actually landowners, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that samurais never had their own house or their own land to take care of. They were awarded, crops and stuff like that, but they were never awarded land because apparently samurais weren't allowed to own land, I think. I'm gonna look more into it. I do want to do, since I'm doing a Shogun video, so if my lighting changes at all, I am very upset right now. I just filmed the rest of this video in my second part, and I was literally about to start filming another video, and I did not know that my mic apparently cut off halfway through this video, and even cut off at all through the second part that I just spent almost an hour making, the rest of this and the next part, and I was just about to start filming another video. So now I'm very angry right now, because now I'm going to have to refilm everything that it cut off. And now if I look down at any point, it's because I'm looking for the light for my mic. So, let's get back into what I was even talking about. I don't even know if I'm going to be saying the exact same things I said even during the first recording. And now I'm going to sit here for another hour and try to record it, but this is so stupid. But let's get back into talking about it. I hope I am where I was. We were talking about samurais not owning land. I didn't know that they didn't own land until doing the research for the Shogun. And if you guys want a video about samurais at all, let me know. Let me know anything about any kind of topics you guys want me to talk about. Let me know down in the comments below. Since Minamoto turned the figure of Shogun into a permanent and hereditary role until the Meiji Restoration, there were two ruling classes in Japan: the Emperor and the Shoguns, or the Shogunate. Now, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be jumping into the next period, because that was the end of the Kamakura period. Now we're jumping into the Muromachi period, is also known as the Ashikawa period or era. This is where, in Japanese history, this period was specifically marked as a time of great political unrest, and it was also known as growth in Japan's culture. It was particularly known to be a time under the influence of Zen Buddhism. A great example of this being used during the period is the art of tea ceremonies, flower arranging, and no dramas. And if you guys want me to make a video about no dramas, this is where the traditional plays of Japan were done with the mass and men only, and talked about the people of the time period and everything like that. I've been thinking about wanting to make a video about it, and if you guys are interested in that, let me know. And yeah, I will definitely make a video about that, because the video I want to make is talking about, you know, the type of plays that they did, the masks and their specific meanings, because I know every mask has a specific meaning, and just in general why men were the only ones to perform these plays and things like that, just the background of it. So if you guys are interested in anything like that, let me know down below in the comments. The biggest example of this period overall was the Sung style of ink painting that was introduced by Northern Zen Buddhist monks, along with bringing in a newer style in the 15th century known as Sumii. During this period, regional warlords known as daimyo, they gained a great deal of power, in which in turn reduced the power of the shogun. They were known as an elite class of Japanese warriors, and even at this point had control over the samurais now. The first shogun in this period was known as Ashikaga Kageyuji. After 2 years of working as the acting shogun, there was the Kinmu Restoration, which lasted for 3 years from 1333 to 1336, in which the previous Kamakura period, the emperor was actually trying to overthrow the ruling shogunate and tried to restore power to the imperial house of Japan. The restoration ended up causing the Ginko War and driving the remaining shogunate to exile in the Oki Islands. The imperial power was restored, but not for long, and Ashikaga became the acting shogun until 1573, and when this period ended, they drove Ashikaga out of the capital of Kyoto and got his ass out too, and started the whole new and next period that we'll be talking about in the part 2 video. If I pronounced anything wrong, I'm sorry. I had trouble pronouncing it the first time. Even though I've taken Japanese and I've been doing Japanese for 2 years, I know how to pronounce a lot of these. I know how to do the hiragana and the katakana, but my learning disability, the second I'm reading it on the thing, even though when I was typing it, I was like, oh, I know how to pronounce it, and I was pronouncing it correctly and everything like that. Of course, when I'm filming, it goes right out the window. And I mentioned that in the first recording of my second part, because you will understand why. But now we are going to get into the second part of the Shoguns. Go watch that video. It will be down in the description if you are interested in any type of video that I've made on this channel. Go let me know you like it. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell notification. Lately, I have been posting every other Monday. This video is probably going to be posted not exactly on Monday, just because of editing and everything. And so let me know if you guys are interested in any topic. Leave it down in the comments, and I could make a video about it, and especially Japanese culture. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'll make a video about something like talking about, like, samurai geishas, anything related to that, or just in general, cryptids even. Let me know, and I will make a video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully my mic doesn't stop working in this video again, and my phone doesn't die while I'm recording. So I will see you guys in the next